Hello and welcome back to another farm review video. This time I'm gonna show you which is the best tree farm in Minecraft, because wood is such an important part of the game. Almost everything you build or craft will need wood. I have chosen out 5 farms that we are going to test and give them ratings. But as usual, the ratings are given out in shulker boxes. That means half a shulker box is the worst and 5 shulker boxes is the best score. All the farms showcased here will require bone meal, so you also should have some kind of bone meal farm. Starting off with the first farm, it is designed by Eagle Eye, and it is the easiest AFKable tree farm. This farm is very simple. It has a dispenser which is throwing out bone meal. Then we have a lever which controls the whole farm. And there is a comparator clock because then you have enough time to chop down the tree. Downside with this farm is that you need to have a lot of saplings and a fully enchanted axe. Because this farm doesn't collect you saplings, so be prepared to lose a lot of them. And if you AFK in this farm, you have to hold down the left and right mouse button at the same time, because then you take down the logs and also place a new sapling, but that leads to another problem. You only get stripped logs, which isn't too bad if you want to craft chest out of wood or just get some planks, but it's not possible to produce regular logs. With this farm you can only make oak, birch and jungle stripped logs. And this farm can produce up to 4038 stripped oak logs per hour, 3477 stripped birch log per hour, and 2769 stripped jungle logs per hour. Pretty decent amount considering that this farm doesn't take a lot of time to build it. But now the scores for this farm. Build simplicity 4.5 out of 5. Really easy to build, you can basically build it by just looking at this picture. Build production rates 2 out of 5, not much wood per hour and you can only get stripped logs. Overall rating 2.5 out of 5. It is not the greatest farm. With this farm you need to have a lot of saplings and a good axe, and also the production rates are a bit low. But thanks again to Eagle Eye for designing it. The second farm is by Mystic Cat. This is the simplest wood farm with TNT. It has a dispenser which dispenses bone meal. Then when the tree grows, the comparator gives the signal up to the TNT duper, and that is basically all. But the downside with this farm are that the TNT doesn't have a landing spot, so when there are no trees, the TNT falls into the water. Also, this farm fires 2 TNTs sometimes, so that can actually break the farm very easily. And this farm can only be used with oak sapling, and it makes around 1583 oak logs per hour. But if you align the TNT to drop on the obsidian, then this farm is already much nicer and it doesn't break that often. But the scores for this farm. Build simplicity 4 out of 5. Really easy to build considering this farm is fully AFKable. Build production rates 2 out of 5. This farm doesn't produce a good amount of logs per hour. Overall rating 3.5 out of 5. It is a AFKable farm, but it only produces oak logs, and you can't get much logs out of this farm. Thank you Mystic Cat for designing it. And the third farm is designed by Dusty Dude. This wood farm also collects your saplings and it is actually pretty easy to build considering it is fully AFKable. In this farm you stand here and place the saplings on the dirt block. When it grows up, the piston pushes the log away and the fence gates will destroy the leaves so you can get the saplings back. This is a really big advantage because you don't need to collect saplings from somewhere else, and the saplings get back into your inventory using this dropper, plus some extra apples and sticks. But moving on, there is a TNT duper next to the farm which is activated when you turn on the farm. It is controlled with the same lever, and the TNT duper is just doing his own cycle. That means if you don't grow any trees, it still fires the TNTs. With this farm you can use oak, birch and jungle saplings, which all produce this much. 10,868 oak logs per hour, 9,032 birch logs per hour, and 6,618 jungle logs per hour. You are not able to use spruce saplings with this farm, and while testing it with jungle saplings, I actually ran out of them. So I don't recommend using jungle saplings, because they give less logs and you can run out of saplings. Now the scores. Build simplicity 3 out of 5. It is actually very easy build and hard to mess it up. Build production rates 5 out of 5. It definitely produces a lot of logs and it is fully AFKable. Overall score 4.5 out of 5. It is a great farm, but you can't get spruce logs from this farm. I can definitely recommend building it if you don't care about spruce logs. Thank you again Dusty Dude for designing this awesome farm. Fourth wood farm is by Mango, and with this farm you can get all 4 logs: spruce, birch, oak and jungle. This farm is similar to the previous one. You are standing in the middle and putting down saplings, while pistons push logs into the TNT dropping area. And of course, here we have fence gates collecting saplings from leaves, and the dropper here drops them to you. Here in the TNT area we have a simple TNT tuber with a double clock. The on-off switch for this TNT tuber is controlled from down here. And now let's look how much does this farm produce as logs. 6,583 oak logs per hour, 8,160 birch logs per hour, 8,663 spruce logs per hour, and 6,143 jungle logs per hour. On this farm I had the same problem with the jungle saplings. You just don't get more saplings back than you are spending. But otherwise, a very good farm and simple to use. But now the scores. Build simplicity 2 out of 5. This farm is harder to build than the previous ones. Build production rates 4.5 out of 5. Rates are pretty good with the farm considering you can get spruce wood as well. Overall rating 4 out of 5. A good farm, you can get all 4 types of logs and it is easy to use. I definitely recommend building it if you need all 4 types of wood. Thanks again to Mango for designing this farm. And as the last farm, we have more of a farming method. This is probably one of the most controversial wood farms, but it is the best one for early game since you don't need much resources. You can make this farm just on the ground as well. Put 4 saplings next to each other and grow a tree out of that. But if you add the water underneath, you can also collect much more saplings. And if you have the max enchanted axe and a beacon, you can get up to 7,200 spruce logs per hour, which is a pretty good amount. But yes, you can only get this amount with spruce saplings. You can use other saplings as well, but they don't grow this big, which means you don't get the same amount of logs per hour. The scores for this farm. Build simplicity 5 out of 5. Too easy to build. Build production rates 3 out of 5. It does produce much, but you have to chop down the trees manually. Overall rating 3 out of 5. The best farming method for early game, but it is still manual work, so yeah. But now a quick recap of all the farms showed before and their production rates. First farm was a manual wood farm and it made a maximum of 4,039 logs per hour. Second farm was the easiest fully AFKable farm and it made 1,568 logs per hour. Third one was a fully AFKable wood farm that also gets all the saplings back and it made 10,868 logs per hour. Fourth one was also the farm that is fully AFKable and gets the saplings back, but it also made it possible to use spruce logs. It made around 8,663 logs per hour. and as the last wood farm we had a farming method for the early game. It made 7200 logs per hour. Out of those 5 farms I would recommend building the third farm, which was designed by Dusty Dude, because it actually is really simple and it gets you the most amount of logs. But that's it for this video. Now you should have a clear overview of what 3 farms exist, and if you found this video helpful, then leave a like and be sure to comment down below which farm you think is the best. But I will see you next time. Until then, bye!